The Pet Girl sakurasou is a really, really good anime, and a really real one at that. And it's something I've watched twice. I've recently finished rewatching it, and the second time I watched it, I definitely got a lot more out of it. Simply because, well, when I originally I watched it as a romance, and it does have romance in it. The Pet Girl sakurasou is, if you look at it as a romance, a very good romance. However, that isn't the big takeaway from Sakurasou no Pet no Kanajo. There we are. We'll go with that. It's a lot more than just a romance drama. It's a slice of life drama. Now you might think that those are pretty similar, but there is a distinctive difference. The romance isn't the reason you should watch The Pet Girl of Sakurasou. At least that's what I think now. Originally, I would have said, yeah, watch it for the romance. The romance is great. However, that's changed. As when I originally watched it, I wasn't doing YouTube, as if you can say I do YouTube with my whole 10 subs. But now I'm quote unquote a creator myself, and so I can relate a bit more with the cast, who, well, the more normal side of the cast, like Sorata and Nanami, who are mostly regular people working really hard for something they enjoy and striving toward their dream to be a creator or an actor, well, a voice actor in Nanami's case, and it really resonated with me. It resonated with me the first time because I was looking for a really good romance drama, which it is. However, now when I've rewatched it, I've gotten something completely different out of it. And if anything, honestly, that's an argument for why you should rewatch anime. Don't watch something once. Well, you can just watch it once, but if there's ever a change in your life, maybe you rewatch something that you resonated with before, and maybe you'll resonate with it differently. Maybe you won't resonate with it at all. Perhaps something that you really didn't like in the past, you'll now really enjoy. But that's not really the topic of this video. So, what is the Pet Girl Sakurasou? Well, it's a set. Well, okay, where do I start? Yes, Sorata, the main character. So, Sorata is a high school kid. Yes. Japanese high school, so I believe he's around 16, 17. And he is, well, not really sure what he wants to do with his life, at least at the beginning. And he is in the sakurasou dorm. Well, yeah, sakurasou, yeah, which is a I'm saying yeah a lot. I apologize, but I'm trying to recall things as I'm going. But this is the dorm where all of, like, the quote unquote problem children of their high school go. For example, you have Jin, who is a fuckboy, like a massive one. He has 3 girlfriends. At least one of them is married. Then you have Ryunosuke, who you don't actually meet until till a bit later into the series, who is a recluse and just doesn't go to school, but his grades and everything he does are exceptional, so they haven't kicked him out, they just moved him to Sakurasou, even though his attendance is abysmal. Then you have Misaki Senpai, who is just a fucking nut job and a crazy good animator. Ryunosuke is a coder, he can hack, he can do literally anything that you can imagine elite hacker man. Apologize for the cough. That some elite hacker could do. That's Ryunosuke, really. He's also really good at coding. Jin, he's there because he's a fuckboy. He's more normal than the rest of them in terms of, like, his talent. He likes writing scripts, but even he realizes they are not up to scratch to where he wants them to be, because he wants to write a script that Misaki is worthy of, that she can get her best work out of. There's more to their relationship than just that, however, that is somewhat pivotal with their relationship, especially with some of the choices Jin makes towards the end of the series with his relationship with Misaki because of his script writing. They have a great relationship that is really, really well done, I think. Then we move on to, there's a teacher at this dorm who looks after the students, who, Chihiro Sensei is a bad teacher. You'll see. And then we have Sorata himself, who is a normal guy for the most part. The reason he's in Sakurasou is because, well, he found a cat that had been abandoned. Couldn't abandon it, so he took it in. And because he had a pet in the school dorm, was like, no cat for you. No cat or sakurasou. I don't know why I said it in an accent, I just did. So he ends up going to Sakurasou so he can keep the cat. And his initial goal is to, well, find someone to take the cats he has, because he starts with one and now there's 4, as he keeps finding more cats in boxes that have been abandoned, and he just can't say no to taking them in. And then we have one more important character for the cast, and that is Nanami, who is, as I mentioned, again, much more normal than the rest of the cast. And she has a dream of wanting to be a voice actor, but she has to pay for her own tuition fees. Not only that, but also, the training to be a voice actor, because that isn't cheap. So she works tons of part-time jobs in between doing schooling and practicing to be a voice actor. She's the hard-working type in this story about people striving for their dreams and being creators. Which is stark contrast to her and Sorata are contrasted by Misaki, and shortly after, probably the most important character of this show, somewhat, kind of, is in the pet girl of sakurasou, Mashiro Shina. Now, originally when I watched sakurasou, I didn't like Mashiro because she is completely dependent on Sorata to do literally anything. She's practically brain dead when it comes to anything other than art, and she's in Japan because she wants to draw manga. That's basically it. She has next to no personality in the beginning other than, I do art. Art is me. I am artist. And initially Sorata, and then we actually get some really good developments with her and Sorata really early on. If you hadn't guessed, Mashiro is the main girl of this show, given the title and her role in sakurasou being, as I just said when I announced her, is the pet girl of sakurasou. But that's by the by. She's also the teacher's cousin. Yep. But anyhow, this story has a fantastic cast of characters, really good story beats, really good messages to go with it, and I love pretty much everything about it. Especially now having rewatched it, where my initial watch, like I said, I didn't like Mashiro. However, now, watching it from a completely different perspective, I don't dislike her at all. I actually really like her as a character. I still prefer Nanami as a quote-unquote waifu. However, Mashiro is just a really, really good character, especially when she starts coming into her own and she gets her developments, which originally when I watched it for a romance, because she wasn't the girl I was rooting for, I just didn't care about any of her developments and just ignored them. However, now that I'm watching it from a different perspective and my viewpoint isn't swayed, I'm aware of all of these developments she goes through, how her character comes into its own, how she starts learning about things she's never experienced, because she is the embodiment of talent. She is talented, but her entire life has been dedicated to that. She has done nothing but, hone her talent. And that's actually something the show touches on somewhat in what's a bigger waste? To not use a talent, or to use your talent on something you don't like doing. Because that's brought up with the fact Mashiro is a painter. She's incredible, and she's an incredible painter, but she chooses to do manga, which doesn't use the full extent of her talents, because she can do so much more than just black and white, especially even though her storytelling ability is awful, because she doesn't know anything other than art, really. And there's a whole conflict that comes out because of that slightly later on to the series. But I don't want to spoil too much of the story beats, because they all have something for you to get out of them for yourself, and very much to experience watching it blind. And if you don't watch it blind like I didn't with my second rewatch, you still get something out of it. And I do highly, highly recommend you go watch this anime, if you haven't already, because it is very popular, and very good, commonly known as being very good. So, if you haven't watched it, please do. It's 100% worth your time. It's 24 episodes. It's a bit long, but you will love absolutely every bit of it. And yeah, that's really all I've got to say. Go watch it. It's fantastic. It's also got some really nice animation at times. Like, it's a slice of life, so it's not really like crazy Sakuga, but like some nice, cute scenes that are animated really well. But yes, if you like this video, or checked out Pekka the sakurasou after watching this video, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, do whatever the fuck you feel like. With all that said, I have an animosity. You've been you, and I'll see you all next time for another video. Ta-ta for now.